A bomb just dropped in Cleveland. What just happened in Cleveland is more than petty, it's explosive. Deion Sanders just lit a fire the NFL might not be able to put out. And the spark, Browns owner Jimmy Haslam throwing shade at Shedeur Sanders, the same rookie QB Cleveland drafted just weeks ago. No filters, no soft gloves, just blatant disrespect. And Coach Prime, he's not having it. Because when you downplay Shedeur like he's just another camp arm, you're not just insulting a quarterback, you're poking a lion with a microphone. And the roar that followed? Oh, it's shaking up the league. So what exactly did the Browns owner say that triggered this legendary clapback? Why is Deion now staring down an entire NFL franchise like they just fumbled destiny? Keep watching, because what's unfolding isn't just about one player, it's about power, pride, and the NFL's biggest blind spot, the moment that set it off. It all started with one of those classic Cleveland moments where ownership opens its mouth and somehow makes everything worse. Jimmy Haslam stepped up to a mic and instead of building up his newest quarterback, essentially shrugged him off. He made it crystal clear, drafting Shedeur, that wasn't his idea. It was GM Andrew Berry's decision. Haslam literally said, if you told me Friday night we were drafting Shedeur Sanders, I would have said that's not happening. Not just a lack of excitement, that's a full rejection. Live. On record. Think about that. You're Shedeur. You've just achieved your lifelong dream. You're in the NFL, and the guy who owns your team tells the world he didn't want you. It's not just a snub, it's sabotage disguised as honesty. Coach Prime isn't just watching, he's loaded and ready. Now imagine you're Deion Sanders. You've spent years building your son from the ground up, coaching him, guiding him, defending him from doubters at every level. And now an NFL owner just tries to clip his wings before he even gets a fair shot. Deion didn't go on a rant. He went surgical, precise, strategic, and deadly. He reminded the world that Shedeur isn't just another QB with a famous last name. He's the most NFL-ready guy in the room, built from adversity, refined by pressure, and polished by greatness. And when someone questions that, Prime doesn't argue, he detonates. Why this hits deeper? What the Browns did isn't new, it's history repeating itself. Black quarterbacks with swagger, leadership, intelligence, they make NFL execs uncomfortable. Not because they're unqualified, but because they don't fit the cookie-cutter image of what safe looks like. Cam Newton, criticized for smiling too much. Lamar Jackson, asked if he should switch positions before winning MVP. Even Jalen Hurts had to prove he was actually a passer after taking the Eagles to the Super Bowl. And now Shedeur's here, calm, composed, laser-focused. And what does Cleveland do? They treat him like a walk-on. He's slinging dimes, owning the huddle, and they're assigning him clipboard duties like he's shadowing the starter on Bring Your Kid to Work Day. The Browns' quarterback curse strikes again. Let's be real, Cleveland has burned through more quarterbacks than most franchises have playoff wins. They treat QBs like expired coupons, rotate them in, toss them out, and pray the next one doesn't explode by week 6. Yet here comes Shedeur Sanders, accurate, composed, confident, and somehow he's the one who gets ignored. It's insane, it's infuriating, and worst of all, it's familiar. The Browns had a shot at redemption, at finally getting one right, and instead they doubled down on dysfunction. Shedeur's resume speaks louder than any owner. Let's talk facts. In college, Shedeur threw for over 3,200 yards, behind one of the worst offensive lines in Division I. His completion rate, nearly 70%. He called audibles, ran hurry up, commanded the locker room. The man's tape is a masterclass in QB IQ. He didn't win on hype. He won with reads, poise, and precision. And now he's out practicing every quarterback on the Browns depth chart and still getting third-string reps. Make it make sense. This isn't just an NFL issue, it's a control issue. The Browns can't handle a quarterback who doesn't just want to succeed, he expects to. And that expectation, that's terrifying to an organization built on excuses. Deion's response: scorched earth and truth bombs. Deion didn't just speak up, he called out everything wrong with the league in one controlled explosion. He talked about the politics, the image obsession, the gatekeeping. He reminded everyone that Shedeur isn't here to beg for opportunity, he's here to demand it. Because what the Browns pulled wasn't just an NFL decision, it was personal. When Haslam downplayed Shedeur, it wasn't just shady, it was disrespectful. And Prime doesn't let that slide. He called it what it was, a subtle, cowardly attempt to undercut a young man before he's even had a chance to prove himself. And that's why Deion fired back. Shedeur isn't a distraction, he's the answer. Some insiders whisper that Shedeur comes with baggage. Translation, they're afraid of his dad, afraid of the media noise, afraid of losing control. But what they're missing is this: Shedeur isn't a circus. He's a clarion call. He's the exact kind of quarterback every team says they want. Poised, prepared, unshakable. So why are they acting like he's a problem? Because he doesn't need to be molded, he's already formed. He's not here to blend in, he's here to take over. The NFL's unspoken bias, when swagger scares the system. Let's call it like it is, the NFL loves a good story, as long as they can control the script. They want humble, grateful, cookie-cutter quarterbacks who nod on command and smile politely. But Shedeur, he walks in with film, stats, and a killer instinct. He doesn't ask to be respected, he expects it. And that shakes the system. Because swagger scares gatekeepers. Swagger means you can't be micromanaged, and in the NFL, confidence that isn't pre-approved is treated like a threat. But Shedeur's not backing down, and neither is Deion. Fans aren't blind, the internet erupted. While the Browns play musical chairs with their quarterback room, fans are watching the tape, and they're not confused. Social media lit up the second Shedeur started taking reps. Why is the best arm in camp getting benched? Why is the rookie reading defenses like a 10-year vet and still being treated like a practice squad extra? Fans aren't dumb, they see the talent, they feel the energy, and they know one thing for sure: Deion's not crazy, he's just calling out the obvious. This isn't a fluke, it's a movement. Deion Sanders isn't here for flash, he's here for legacy. He's already more visible on social media than most top picks. He's already built his brand, but none of that would matter without the game to back it up. And that's what terrifies the Browns most. Because if Shedeur succeeds, it proves everything Deion said was right. It proves that image isn't everything, that leadership and IQ matter more than pedigree and politics, and that maybe, just maybe, the system needs to change. Coach Prime's final warning: wake up or watch out. Deion's words weren't just heat, they were a warning shot. He knows what happens to talented players when politics win out. He's seen careers derailed by egos and owners who couldn't see greatness even when it was standing in their huddle. But this time, he's not letting that happen. He said it loud: there are teams I won't let my son play for. You better believe Cleveland just made that list. Because if Shedeur doesn't get the chance he's earned, the Browns won't just be ignoring talent, they'll be rewriting their own history of failure. And this time, the world will be watching. The reckoning has arrived. The NFL loves to talk about evolution, about welcoming change, about progress. But when Deion Sanders walks into a room, all of that talk goes silent. Because real change doesn't whisper, it commands. And when the Browns chose to undermine that, they didn't just start a quarterback controversy, they started a revolution. Deion Sanders is done asking. Shedeur Sanders is done waiting. And the league, it better be ready, because this isn't just about Cleveland anymore. It's about every team that ever chose comfort over greatness. Shedeur is coming, and Deion just cleared the path.